YouTube, Street Fighter fans, Street Fighter 6 fans, fans of Street Fighter. It's been done. Ryu has finally won a tournament, a Capcom Pro Tour qualifier, a big CPT event. Ryu has finally won.
Xiaohai said, "Oh, the wake up OD, Dragon Punch, and Kusanagi as the crowd rushes the stage. France is defending home territory."
And that's what we're going to talk about here today. I'm going to do analysis on Ultimate Fighting Arena in France. Just took place this past weekend. And I just want to go over specifically the grand finals, which features Kusanagi, Ryu, and Xiaohai playing Cammy. And see what's going on here. Ryu finally winning. I think that's a big thing. I think a lot of people have had a lot of doubts about Ryu, had a lot of just so much to say about him. He sucks, doesn't have this, doesn't have that, this, that, and the other. Whereas Shoto, I've seen all kinds of crazy, different things about Ryu. So basically what I intend to do here is big deep dive and analysis on what Kusanagi did here to win with Ryu. Obviously, it's gonna probably be simple as like, oh, I just do low forward and fireball, just win, just DP, there. But it's definitely more than that. There's a lot more decision making in Street Fighter 6 than meets the eye. So let's just get right to it and let's see what's up with Kusanagi and his big dub at UFA 2024.
Right now, he could be the first homie from France, first killer for France to make it to the season.
Okay, nice. Already, we're starting off strong here. Already. Starting off strong here. Really good whiff punish here at the start. Xiaohai whiffs. Whiffs a throw there. Boom. Counter hit fierce into the Hashogeki. Into nice, easy damage here with Ryu. Nothing too crazy here, but just a really strong start from Kusanagi.
Right now, real working man combos, 25% off the shimmy. Yeah, already holding down the lead. Okay, so Xiaohai goes for the
Ooh, almost got a whiff punish there.
I would have loved to see the Ken. Why not, right? I think that's a bad
really good by Xiaohai.
Not to be downplaying again, but like even since season 1, Ryu does very well against Ken. Xiaohai, let's be honest, Xiaohai is actually a Cammy main as well.
Okay, I respect the bust out there. Good whiff punish from Xiaohai.
As much as I play. Okay. You know when I get home, I'm gonna learn.
Ooh, Kusanagi with retaliation on the wake up. So just kind of points out here, both players essentially decided to pretty much retaliate against each other. Even though it's not a really good favorable position here for either player, right? Xiaohai opted to go for a throw, right for the spiral arrow. You see it here. Dash up, there's a throw right there. Gets punished. Right by Kusanagi, and he turns a tide pretty easily, pretty handily here. Gets DP in there. Throw tech. Oh, unfortunate whiff on the RYU. And then this right here I thought was insane. So let's look at what happened here. Big turn of events, right? So prior to the situation, after the throw tech, with the Hashogeki, DP whiff, okay, big confirm here. Now, truth be told, honestly, I think there's a potential chance right here where Xiaohai could have potentially used the level 2 to actually close the game out, because right before this, he only has 1 meter. Boom. Now down here, we're going to use this. Right here, he's got 2 gauge. So in my honest opinion, it made sense to opt for the level 2 because what happens post situation here, opts to spend the level 1. Now, I think here in the situation, the level 2 probably would have killed based on the amount of HP left over here. And I mean, of course, hindsight's 2020 when you look at it. Obviously, in my personal opinion, I say spend the meter. I know it might have been too early to spend 2 bars in the very first round, especially in the first set of the grand finals. But I think given the situation, I think it might have been worth the buffer. Now, to be fair to Xiaohai, this isn't necessarily a bad position to be in, because as we move forward, right, you know, Xiaohai still has a couple things in his favor, right? So for what it's worth, I'm going to use green here for this. Xiaohai has a good amount of HP to work with, and his drive gauge is almost there, right? He's almost at full. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, it's pretty clear Kusanagi's in the he's in trouble here. He's definitely in trouble here. But, right, despite that, the biggest thing to note is this here. Kusanagi still has 2 meters. Right? He still has 2 meters, which is really, really huge here. Because obviously we saw what happened afterwards, right? He did get a hit confirm and then was able to punish and get big damage with the level 2. So this kind of goes towards what I was saying earlier, right? Where I think you should have spent the level 2 on the side of Xiaohai, right? Because what happens here, both playing footsies, neutral, then RYU stand fierce into the hot Shogeki super, level 2, and it's like, you know, it's kind of crazy. Because technically speaking, Kusanagi could have done level 1 potentially and still killed in this situation, but he opted to not risk it, which I think in a high pressure situation like this in a tournament setting, for you guys that are, you know, new tournament players and or familiar tournament players, you do want to be willing to spend the meter to close the round out, even in this early of the game. I think it's definitely worth it to try to just close out and just knock it out the box. Let's keep going forward. Okay, that's just the first round. Very good here by Xiaohai. Perfect pairing the fireballs and drive rushing in.
The whole crowd felt that one. I felt that one. Everybody asleep back home felt that one. He's so cool, man. Yeah, he's dope. He's dope. He's ill.
Again.
Oh, nice punish, Xiaohai. Light, but you know what? We there.
I think Kusanagi is also changing up the timing of his fireballs as well, and Xiaohai just has a really good read on his timing, which is really huge here. Yeah, gets the burnout. Big damage. Really good there. As a tough situation for Kusanagi to be in. Caught in the corner against Cammy. It's really crazy. Cammy, really strong character. I'm sure you guys already know. Okay, good low forward drive rush. Nice. This here is very commonplace in these situations here in Street Fighter. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been playing a lot of ranked. You're familiar with this here, which is the opponent gets caught in the corner, they have the meter, then they low forward into drive rush. So I do want to talk about this right here. This was something that's pretty much masterclass in footsies here. Right? Gets the spacing off the Jodan kicks. Micro walk back, protect your feet. This is huge right here, okay, you guys? I really want to point this out to you guys. This is a huge thing in Street Fighter 6, right? Being able to walk back and protect your feet like this while being in this position in the corner is huge. Because the reality here is, even though this checks out and this clears that Xiaohai is in the corner here, this low forward drive rush with all this meter up here is a scary factor. Is a very, very scary factor. You can turn the tide around and not only just get damage, but also start up pressure, which technically speaking is what happens here, right? And we'll get into what happens next, but be mindful of this because low forward drive rush is very, very strong. And a character like Cammy, who does have a fast walk speed, can make this so scary, especially with just micro walking. Because obviously RYU's walk back speed is nowhere near as fast as Cammy's walk forward speed. So you want to keep, you know, your eye on that. And what happens next is something that you should also be doing, right? If you can recognize it and you can react fast enough, you have 2 major options here, right? So I'm gonna erase this here. So we know that they have the meter, right? But I'm gonna highlight it still for you guys so you can see it, right? So you have 2 major options here, right? Especially as RYU, right? So option 1, oopsie, do this here. Option 1 is to essentially we'll do it this way. Your first option could be if you since you're playing Ryu, you should be able to OD Shoryu, right? You want to be able to OD DP or Shoryu away from the situation, right? You also have for your second option drive reversal. So you can also drive reversal here, right? And in this case, it's not a bad option. It's not a bad option on either side, right? If you have these available, you can use these options to help you out, right? So if you're not comfortable in using OD Shoryu in this situation, you can always use drive reversal, but it's preferred for you to do OD Shoryu for multiple reasons, right? If you OD Shoryu, then you do guaranteed damage, right? So option 1 gives you guaranteed damage, while option 2 gives you gray health. So it's still recoverable by the opponent, and it does knock down, but, you know, the OD Shoryu is just a bit better, you know, in every single aspect, especially in a situation like this where, for what it's worth, right, you do have the meter available. So this checks out, right? Like this actually clears right here. Like this is actually a plausible thing in this situation, right? So this right here, 100% okay. Totally okay. In fact, I'm gonna totally give this a big check mark here. These are great options. Definitely use these. Use these for your advantage. Now, if you're a character that does not have, you know, a DP, then you can't really utilize that. You'd have to use the drive reversal. You can also super, right? But let's be serious here. No one's gonna opt for a super in this situation, unfortunately, unless you're just that cracked and can react that fast. So, but let's keep it pushing. Back to the corner you go. Unfortunately, didn't bait that. The CrossFit DP.
That's a great block. He's blocked all overheads. Most of them, I would say, like 10.
And this is one of the keys to this right here. I would say is one of the keys to Kusanagi's success in this event, is that he opted for a lot of micro shimmies. Now it looked like, look at that. That's really smart stuff there, because it, you know, it's Cammy, right? Not to mention he tried it here, right? So just for future, right? Boom, boom. He walked in, tried to walk out, but Xiaohai pressed, which is okay, right? In the situation, Xiaohai potentially thought that, you know, he might try to throw him, so he opted for a quicker button instead of trying to do a throw tech and or a low forward. If he was to go for a crouching medium kick or low forward, potential chance he could have got frame trapped, but he also wasn't looking for the walk back in this scenario. He's like, okay, I just don't want to deal with the throw. But in this case, since the shimmy wasn't successful, he's still able to block here on the side of Kusanagi, right? But he tried it again right here and did a micro shimmy into the stand fierce, which is smart. And even then, another point of masterclass patience is that Kusanagi could have easily opted for a drive impact here, right? Given the situation, right? Just to kind of point out the factors. I'm going to use red again so you guys can see this, right? Given the situation here, in most cases, most players would have potentially went for a drive impact for the wall stun and try to, you know, go for a combo, right? But let's just be serious here. My man is playing this guy right here. This guy, Xiaohai, he has very good reactions. And with that being said, with those reactions, my man's fully loaded right here with 2 bars worth of super meter. It might have been too risky for him to go for that. In most scenarios, most players would potentially do that, especially in ranked. I'm sure you guys done it all the time. You just have to be really careful with that. It's not something you just want to just openly just kind of do at this level of play. It doesn't mean you shouldn't show your opponent your options and you're not afraid to do them. But given the situation and what could potentially happen, Cammy's level 2 wouldn't kill in this scenario just based on the life bar that Kusanagi has. But if we were to be real, right? I'm gonna erase this. But the potential chance of him losing meter could have potentially been somewhere like a raw level 2 would have probably left him with somewhere around maybe this much HP left, right? With that being said, just so you can see what I mean, it would have been somewhere around this much, right? So I just put the red square here just to kind of say how much it would have taken away, and it might have been left with this sliver left over, right? Which would have been scary, right? That's not ideal in the situation, especially when both players have very, very similar HP values. So it's better to hold on to the drive advantage, right? To bring it back. So in Kusanagi's case, it's good to hold on to the drive advantage, right? And then furthermore, right, and I'm going to put this in green, he also had positional advantage here, right here in the corner. Keeping Xiaohai here was priority. So I'm going to just put this down here for you guys. Right? Corner control is key. Corner control is just super key. It's super key here. It's super duper key in this situation. You want to have corner control. You do not want them to escape. No matter what, you want to keep your opponent cornered as much as possible. So, all right, let's continue.
Bro, you are not catching Xiaohai asleep at the wheel. Let me tell you that. Okay, that's your fault. Okay, that's your fault. Okay, I just shut my mouth.
And Logan definitely said something a little while. Shout out to Logan. You can't talk to him, Yipes. With that being said, it happens in such a blur. So again, masterclass in patience, right? So we're holding on to the corner, as we mentioned earlier. Okay, walk up throw. And he caught him slipping. Drive rush overhead into damage. Really, really strong showing here from Kusanagi. All right, we're going to game 2. Sneaky shimmy throw. Xiaohai retaliates. Another thing too, if you guys didn't already know this, keep in mind how high Kami players do their dive kicks, because if a dive kick is potentially about this high, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know right now, this isn't an ideal place to hit the dive kick. So since the dive kick is hitting this high up, Kami's advantage is very low here in this situation. So at this point, pressing buttons is okay. It is like right here, it is okay to mash. You can mash your 4-frame, you can mash probably a reversal. It really just depends on how high up, right? So in this case, since the dive kick's sitting here, it's definitely worth it to like press a button, which is essentially what happened here. So this was actually warranted from Kusanagi to stop Xiaohai from trying to continue any kind of pressure. Essentially force his wheel and take his turn back. This is a smart move here. And using the jab to kind of push, to get some kind of pushback, because for what it's worth, where Kusanagi is, he's pretty much in the corner. This is not ideal. We need to focus on moving Kami back this way to try to gain some kind of space so we can use our normals, because here in the situation, we use crouch and medium kick. It can still be useful here. He can still, as you mentioned before, low forward drive rush out. But just for the sake of, I want to point this out, even though this is okay here. We acknowledge that. This is something to consider right here. This arrow right here is he has 4 drive gauge. If he was to low forward drive rush or even drive rush from the situation, it wouldn't be a true block string. But the problem is he'd be at a drive gauge deficit of 1, while Xiaohai has roughly the same-ish meter. So this wouldn't be ideal, but not necessarily the worst thing in the world, right? He's still not in a bad position. HP meters are okay, so.
Yeah, keep going for it. Absolutely. A lot of risk involved in that, though. Xiaohai's reactions are fantastic, showing that he's ready to check drive rushes.
Good on Xiaohai. Also even greater on Kusanagi for choosing to not jump against Xiaohai and testing his reactions while in the corner. Great backdash. And a side swap. Yep. And there it is. Remember what we talked about previously? there it was. He went for a drive rush, off late Stanfierce into the drive rush into overhead with Ryu, and Xiaohai was already ready, locked and loaded with OD DP. And guess what? KO. So yeah, having OD DP really good against drive rush, no scenarios. Nice poking here from Kusanagi. Okay. And that's what to know about Cammy. Cammy players will definitely use that ODDP to escape the corner because it's an automatic side swap back to neutral. Pretty scary stuff. Yep, no respect. Let me point this out here because I know some people probably watch Xiaohai do this walk back and forth wiggle stuff and probably like, I mean, I guess it was kind of cool. You know, we're playing footsies, but the reality is Xiaohai is mostly doing this to gain his gauge back, right? This is huge for getting your drive gauge back. As you guys know, or if you didn't know, you'll learn now. Walking forward in Street Fighter 6 builds meter. So, and even though like it's not the greatest amount of meter, it does increase your meter gain. So Xiaohai walking back and forth is for the meter gain purposes. It's not for any. I mean, he's also baiting for something, right? Because this Cammy, her walk speed is pretty ridiculous. You know, Cammy takes one step, she's like way over here. She takes one step back, she's way over there. So you know what I mean? Like, so it's totally understandable why he's doing it. You know, like it's a multi-purpose thing. He could essentially crouch, right? He could essentially crouch to try to protect his feet. But, right, remember these arrows, there's a lot of arrows here. So if he was to crouch and try to crouch block here, there's no real reason because there's no threat of Ryu low forward. It would probably hit somewhere about here. As you can see, Cammy's feet is pretty much nowhere near where Ryu's low forward would hit. So this is actually warranted from Xiaohai. This is actually okay. He still has corner control because the reality is even if Kusanagi decides to jump, boom, that's cannon spike. You know, and based on the angle that he's at, right, he can easily cannon spike him. If Xiaohai is to walk forward just a little bit, right, then he can use back medium punch, which would hit roughly, like if he was to walk up a little bit forward, roughly within the low forwardish range, this back medium punch would hit pretty much right here. So regardless, he has the angles covered. Not to mention, just to throw it out there too, even from this angle right here, right, let me use a different color for green. If he was to jump, Xiaohai also has the ability to air throw him roughly at this spot. So, and from the air throw, that's going to throw him right back in this position. So, either way it goes, Kusanagi has to exercise good patience and not get himself caught up in any one of these situations. Like, each one of these arrows is just something scary, right? The only arrow that doesn't really matter here is this one because it's not walking into low forward range. The only time that would be low forward range, just to bring it back up here, because this is representative of back medium punch. So, and even then, back medium punch can hit from any one of these. Like, as long as Xiaohai takes a step in, not to use this as an example, any step in Xiaohai does, he still has access to either one. And these are three really strong anti-air options. So, man, Cammy in the corner is kind of scary, dudes. Not gonna lie to you.
Also, if you get hit walking forward at that range, you're not going to get comboed afterward unless it's a punish counter.
Nice, good catch. Good catch by Kusanagi.
But you know, it's safe to say Xiaohai is going to block every overhead now. We'll see. Oh my God, can you get this 2-0 lead, Kusanagi? Here in your backyard, that's what everybody's waiting for. I'm waiting for. This is Xiaohai. You got them flashing police lights. Uh-oh. Red and blue in the bottom
wow.
of the screen. Level 3's available. That's bars.
He does not care. We're gonna reversal DP. We are not dealing with you.
My move is on the trophy. You see the movement from both of these guys?
And then as you can see also, Kusanagi does a lot of crouch walks, right? Like he'll walk and crouch block to protect his feet. But it's a double meaning, right? The crouch walk is to also hold your space.
I love that as well because it was drive rush off the fierce, so you can't.
Ooh, scary stuff.
And
And boom! There it is. Kusanagi is now up 2-0. Can you guys imagine Ryu up against Cammy? Kusanagi is on one right now. Look at my man. He is ready. Xiaohai drinking that water. It's time. So okay. This is good stuff. This is good stuff from both players. I've got to tell it to you guys, man. This is some great Street Fighter 6. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was on the edge of my seat watching this when it happened. Here we go, game 3. Alright, so at this point, it's looking like Xiaohai looking to test Kusanagi's walking. Hence why you can see already starting up. Check this out. There's a stand roundhouse, catches him walking forward, right? So now, watch what he does. He's catching him walking backwards, and he caught him trying to crouch walk. That's the first low forward. And again, so what Xiaohai did in this set right here, especially just this portion, he changed his timings up very heavily, right? Xiaohai changed his timings up to be able to catch Kusanagi's movement speeds and punish him for trying to walk away or trying to, like, basically he tried to intercept him from doing crouch and medium kick right back, or try to initiate with a crouch medium kick, potentially into drive rush or into a Hadouken or what have you, or Hashogeki even. And he's just putting on a crouch and medium kick himself to try to intercept all of that. And for what it's worth, very successful right now. Baited. Another low forward, as you can see. Now Xiaohai's just letting him rip. And this is another key thing that you can do with a lot of characters, right? Where you use a move that's pretty fast on startup and has pretty decent recovery, and you can whiff that normal in case they decide to walk in, right? There it is. So in case he was to, walk in, maybe press another button, potentially catch him with a crouch and medium kick, but right there on the whiff of the crouch and medium kick, he utilizes a cannon spike to deter Kusanagi from trying to jump out. You can do this with a lot of characters who have Shoryukens or DP inputs, flash kicks, what have you. You can use that. It's a pretty strong tactic in Street Fighter to stop people from jumping. Basically, it's using a button to kind of buffer and check at the same time. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat stuff.
Very nice. We'll take a little more risk on wake up. We do have a 2-0 lead, but do not get comfortable. Kusanagi, you are dealing with the kid. Bro, we've already seen a 2-0 lead against Xiaohai.
Good anti-air.
Real fast. There we go. More confident with the throws. But back dash to avoid the throw that was clean, but
and again, Xiaohai intercepting his walk it.
Again, you got in condition of looking for the shimmy. This man getting real familiar with the corner. Good touch. When we out of there. Switch sides with him. Ooh.
Nice Shogeki. Love to see it. Really good here from Kusanagi. That damage plus burnout. This is a favorable position for him to be in. No DP. Okay, this part right here, I have to admit, I'm sure it might have been tournament nerves. I'm not sure. I'm not in Kusanagi's shoes, but just looking at it from the outside looking in, this definitely is a little, it seems like kind of uncharacteristic of him, because there's a jump right here, and I was like, man, this right here, a crouching heavy punch would have solved it. But I know this is also, you're dealing with Cammy. So in dealing with Cammy, you just never know. He could essentially get dive kicked, but if Xiaohai was to dive kick here at this height, it'd have been super negative to the point to where, it's hitting on top of the head of the opponent. The world would have been, Kusanagi's oyster at that point. He would have did a lot of damage, and this round would have been over. Not to mention, Xiaohai has no meter here, so like him not having any meter means he can't use OD. He can't use OD dive kick to try to save himself, but oh man, it's really unfortunate to see no anti-air here in the situation. Very, very unfortunate. But let's see what else happens.
Don't even throw a fireball. You saw what he did with Valmaster. He's staying at that range, anticipating. Wow! Look for that, dude. Just get the space out. Oh,
And another genius move by my man's here, dude. He literally uses Jodan kick for the chip damage instead of using a fireball. If he was to use a fireball here, 1002% Xiaohai was going to drop that level 3 and try to take this game. But the fact that Kusanagi used Jodan kick in order to get this out the way, smart move. Smart move. Hard to react to.
let's go, man. And ladies and gentlemen, it is set point here once again for Kusanagi.
This isn't good.
Is he trying to kill the dream? Of course he is.
There it is again. He's caught onto the. He knows the timings. He's in Kusanagi's head with these perfect parries. It's a fireball. Oh, throws. Oh no, not a good look.
And Xiaohai looking to close it out. No, that time was the shimmy. There's number 4. One more throw. Close it out.
Gotta get out of there. I don't blame him.
He's gonna go down swinging, and he's gonna go down tossing the plasma.
And you can't throw plasma at that character, man. Characters like her with really good level 3s that are really speedy and can go through projectiles, you gotta be careful about that, man. You gotta be careful. You can't give that up. But hey, Kusanagi had to test his gangster. You know, I respect it. I respect it. He had to test him.
I see you. He can afford to make a few calls.
Yeah, I mean, taking a 1-game loss in the first of 3 situation, it's okay. It's data. But Xiaohai on the move. That's perfect parry.
Don't touch my ankles ever with those plus frames. How dare you? Move. Throw them. Oh, caught the walk back.
Ooh, try to get cheeky with the plus frames.
Beautiful space on the donkey kick. Looking for the perfect parry again. He's getting pushed back to the corner.
All right, this is a rough place to be in right now. This corner spot, really rough. Ooh, what a jump. Can spike. Out of there. Xiaohai. He's on the move right now. He's like, hold on. Remind you. And there it again. There it is. I'm telling you guys. His crouching medium kick usage has just skyrocketed once he recognized that Kusanagi is walking so much. Good shimmy. Okay. This right here, I gotta admit, Xiaohai was getting kind of cheeky right here with the Odie hooligan. My man said, I'm not gonna lose this game without using this level 3. I respect it.
Bro, you are crazy. You threw a fireball there?
Nice DP.
There's a dive kick. I'm telling you, it's coming. Watch your offense. Don't even throw.
Yo, Xiaohai is buffering that super right now. This right here is just straight buffering. Oh no. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Once again, it's the second time Kusanagi tried to test Xiaohai's reactions. This is a player that caliber. It's really difficult to do that, man. But again, I also feel at the same time, even though while a player like Xiaohai, this type of technique is difficult to do, right, against him, I still think you should try to test their reactions. You should still try to, like, you know, you still try. You know, because there's the off chance where he's wrong. Maybe he didn't react in time. But in instances like that, I won't lie to you guys. I mean, Xiaohai was literally just buffering the entire time, so.
He threw the fireball, bro. I'm still shocked, but you know what? It's okay. That's in the past. We're in a moment now. Kusanagi, as long as you're not shaking up, this is good.
Now you know he's got those. I mean, if you didn't know from the match against Valmaster,
you know.
And you didn't know from the years of footage that you could have watched of this man win multiple titles.
You know, Kusanagi.
Nice counter hit.
If he heard you say they'd be like, give a rat's ass slogan. You know who I am? I'm the guy getting mauled in the corner right now. Again.
gonna back throw him another no. Bro, he is spending so much time in this corner.
You guys, Xiaohai's accuracy on perfect parry. Here, I have to point this out. Even though the main focus here is RYU, but at the same time, this is definitely Masterclass Street Fighter 6, right?
Of this man with
Being able not only just stuff fireballs, right?
You know, Kusanagi heard you say that.
now.
If he heard you say that, we're in a moment now. Kusanagi, as long
But
as
this, this here,
Now you know he's got those. I mean, if you didn't know from the match against Valmaster,
now you know.
and you didn't know from the years of footage
this right here, having this, you know,
that you
on
could have
point.
watched of this man with multiple
We got it
titles.
where we had this was a little bit earlier, right? But point of the matter, as long as you have these on point, it definitely turns the tide against like characters like RYU and Akuma, even Ken, pretty much the Shoto characters, Luke.
You know now.
Like if you're able to capture these perfect parries,
You know who I am?
it's so good.
In the corner right now.
Again.
We're gonna back throw him another no.
Bro, he is spending so much time in this
And there it is again.
to pay rent.
Like
Bro,
this.
he is
This is so good. Oh my gosh. This is probably one of the scariest things about fighting Cammy. She has a pretty solid damn drive rush, right? But perfect pairing the fireballs in this instance like this, this is so good for Cammy. And I just be the one to tell you guys once again, this is good for pretty much every single character in the game. When you learn to like perfect parry fireballs within this spacing, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is actually one of the harder spacings to actually throw a fireball, right? Like this general spacing here. You know what? Maybe this isn't the perfect thing to show here. We'll use this, right? Literally being in this spacing, right? Like at this range, this close. A lot of the times, you know, Shoto players, Guile, etc., they're throwing fireballs in a range that's pretty much unreactable. Right, like they try to do that in that space so that one, they do damage to your drive gauge, right, and then two, if you run into it, obviously that they do damage, right? So the fact that he has this so well, like I don't explain it, it's just his timing is just on point. And I think Kusanagi definitely has been altering his timing, but I think it's just one of those things where like you have to really adjust. And I think part of the adjusting in this case is to not use the regular fireball, but to use the OD. But I think the problem with that is if you use the OD version, then we're going to be in a situation like this where we're at a meter deficit, right? Right now, essentially, you know, Kusanagi's in almost the red. Meanwhile, Xiaohai is just sitting pretty. So it definitely comes into question which fireball to use. Now, alternatively, Kusanagi could have started using more Denjin fireballs at this point in particular to try to offset the perfect parry timing for the single hit fireball, right? Because right now he's using a lot of single hit fireballs within this spacing. So that could change the tide, but that's not happening at the moment. So just something, you know, kind of to pay attention to. Again, Masterclass Street Fighter 6. These players are both just they're doing their thing, you guys. Trust me, this was a treat. This was a treat to watch. But let's continue.
He is spending so much time in this corner, he's due to pay rent. He's got a tendency.
He went to the hotel and said, hey, where am I?
I'm gonna go check this stage at the end of this tournament. It's gonna have RYU's butt print in that chain link fence.
This is your corner. You stay right in. There we go.
Nice throw.
Oh my God.
All right, got him burnt out. Here we go. But Xiaohai says, no, sir. He said, no, sir, I will press. And I respect the check. Sometimes you got to do it. No fake pressure.
Remember, guys, whoever wins this will be going to CAPCOM Cup 11 in Japan.
Hey, good throw.
But right now, Xiaohai has all the momentum in the world. Steamrolling the competition.
There we go. This is scary. Bro Lu.
Oh, no, not like this, Logan.
Good backdash. But right now, his HP is too low. And Xiaohai with the reset. Here we go, you guys. Now, here's where things get interesting.
Was that his only chance?
Here's where things get interesting, you guys.
Different stages of dominance for many players. I don't know him. With the buzz.
That's what you got to be. Perfect parry on the dive.
I'm gonna
Alright, so we're on the Grand Finals reset. First perfect parry of the set. Kusanagi. He's on the move now. Here we go. Offensive RYU.
Trying to steal frames.
Trying to throw me, says Xiaohai, good check.
Gonna make you work for
Get
it.
off me.
There's no
Okay.
freebies here.
Good DP. No free jumps.
Karate man, baby, you forgot. Now he's staying at that range though. Snipe out Mortal's dive kick.
Okay.
Xiaohai, of course, with an
I respect the
anti-air zone.
Xiaohai.
And the
Woof.
savage donkey kick from downtown. Dan drops in. He wants to see some of the action as well.
Here we go. Xiaohai on the move. What we're gonna do, and there it is. See, that's what I mean about throwing the OD fireball, right? Getting the space and throwing that plasma was so fast. Xiaohai was like, oh, hold on, I better just block. See, and since it throws off the perfect parry timing, it's also important.
There you go. Stay at that range. We're looking for those bad dive kicks, right? Let's see. Looking for that stand rounds as well. Oh, but check again.
And I do want to point this out as well, just to kind of give you guys more of an understanding as to why Kusanagi is kind of like walking in like he is. So
There you go.
it's essentially a neutral mix-up here, right?
Let's see.
Now, this would have been a great whiff punish here, just to point that out. But there's the walk forward, right, into the crouching medium punch. So you're probably wondering, okay, he walked into it, he got punished. That looks pretty standard, right? But I want to point out the objective here and why this is a really tricky thing to deal with while playing in the neutral here. So on the side of Kusanagi, right, in this instance, the reason why he walked forward, reasons, right? Some of the reasons include trying to bait a bad dive kick. Because if you bait a bad dive kick, what ends up happening is you pretty much force the dive kick to be in a poor position, which allows you to punish, right? Because if the dive kick hits at the very top, Kami is completely punishable. If it hits at the right spot, Kami could either be neutral to plus, and it's variable, right? So she's not always going to be super duper plus, but plus enough to be able to continue some kind of pressure or like force a perfect parry situation, maybe force another situation with a dive kick. Like, there's no amount of things that can be done, right? But then also he's walking forward. He's also trying to control space because he's too close to the corner in this scenario. And the walk speed on RYU isn't the fastest. And Kami crouching medium punch, 7 frames. There's a lot of things to look out for. Now, alternatively, he could use DP. But, you know, how far deep you walk in can determine whether or not you're going to get hit by a move like this. Right? So it's tricky because Kami can walk and crouching medium kick your walk. Right? Now, in this case, you know, he's walking forward. So it makes sense to try to use crouching medium punch, since crouching medium punch, 7 frame normal, has actually more range than Kami's crouching medium kick. You can check it out yourselves, you guys, in the training room. You'll see it. Yeah, it's scary stuff. It's definitely scary stuff. Plus, you know, it's a 1 frame difference in normals, like 7 frames versus 8 frames. 1 frame makes all the difference despite it being a mid. It's more about the distance and like the speed. Defensively, it makes sense to utilize crouching medium kick, right? So let's say on his defense, right, like he's trying to walk away, obviously crouching medium punch is going to hit him, but that crouching medium kick will definitely tax those feet. So yeah, I know I kind of gave you guys a lot of information here, but it's just this walk forward isn't for any, you know, it's not for nothing. There are reasons behind why they're doing what they're doing, why these players are doing what they're doing. It's not for nothing.
Looking for that stand rounds as well. Oh, but check
what
again.
he found was a crouch strong.
That definitely should be enough, survey says. Yes. Damn, Xiaohai, he is on a steamroll right now. Was down 2-0, bring it all the way with the reverse 3-0. Impressive.
All right, here we go.
Set championship, whatever you want to call it.
Go for a drive rush, crouch jab. What's the mix?
I'm trying to go for the open up the counter hit, no?
Which I will point out that when you do low forward or crouching medium kick drive rush, or pretty much every character that has it, when you do the crouching light punch, it is a guaranteed block string. It is gapless.
of spacing, wasn't ready for it. Oh, the whiff punish. Low forward puts him back into the corner. Big chunky potato combos. Just the normal DP, gives up the corner.
Oh, got a punish.
Nice.
Here we go.
Go far enough for the throw.
Pressure.
Kusanagi was ready with the punish. That time the OD DP, and he swaps the corner.
Xiaohai is not having it. I'm not sitting in that corner. The cannon spike, get off me. And see Xiaohai trying to walk back, try to control that space, keep the corner, but no go. Kusanagi. Big confirm here. Big damage. Big damage. Give me that. It's a lot of damage here.
Where's the piano?
You know? Where the mustache is at? Real.
Again. Nice foot. See? And there it is. This is what I was trying to tell you guys, right? I'm glad we got a chance to see it here. This is perfect. Great way to end the round here, right? So what I want to point out here is there's the crouch walks. See, he's protecting his feet. And at the same time, when you do the crouch, right, you also hold your space. So it's kind of a 2-in-1. And see, because he's doing this here, he's not walking too far away because he's dealing with Cammy's walk speed. So he has to keep readjusting his timing and his spacing. So timing being the timing when he decides to go for a crouch, right? So let's go from this point here, right? There's a crouch walk. Boom. Now, if you look at what's happening here, I want you guys to see this. This is a very big thing in Street Fighter, right? Unfortunate whiff punish here, or no whiff punish. So Pete, walk, good amount, crouch. Okay. Now I'm gonna use this here so you guys can kind of see. So this is his landmark right here, right? This is essentially where he's at. Right now, let's see where he ends up next. Crouch walk again. He's slowly moving Xiaohai to the corner. Right? He steps up in. Now he's a little bit closer. Now you see how far like the distance between these two. I know it seems very, very, very minute, but it's basically one of the most fun but also difficult parts of playing Street Fighter 6 in particular is trying to play this it's like a tug of war for the screen essentially, right? Even though Xiaohai has a lot of space, right? Even though Xiaohai has a lot of space before he hits the corner here, that doesn't mean that Xiaohai wants to be in the corner, right? That's definitely not ideal. I mean, I think you guys know that. You know, we don't want to be in the corner no matter what, right? That's not where we want to be, right? But the good part for our hero here is that he has a lot of space to work with going backwards. Because this essentially is like the center point of the screen, right? And already Xiaohai has given up literally this much space. So this is why space control with your movement is also important. You don't have to press a single button to be able to kind of walk someone down essentially. And I mean, don't get it twisted. Xiaohai is not an easy player to kind of walk down, but there are other factors in play, right? There are definitely other factors in play. Those factors right now, my friends, meters, life gauges. Right here at the very top, this is a very scary scenario for both players, which is a big reason why Xiaohai is kind of sort of keeping his distance and not proceeding to move forward. And part of the reason why, guess what? My man has fully loaded at the bottom of the screen. Boom. He's got a CA ready. So a bad jump, right? Let me iron out a lot of the things that could happen, right? So a bad jump, level 3, right? Bad jump equals level 3. Bad fireball, level 3, right? Granted, if you want to do a simple confirm, level 3. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are all really strong scenarios for him. So Xiaohai doesn't really have to engage. Xiaohai can just legit big chill and hold on to the situation that he has. right? And against Ryu, I mean, these are all good things, right? Bad jump, bad fireball. He catches a low, a crouching medium kick, or even a jab. You know, he can convert into level 3. So it's scary, man. It's scary. And then on Kusanagi's side, unfortunately, right, he's out of meter. Right? He has 0 gauge. On the plus side, coming back to green, he does have a lot of drive gauge. So he does have he has 1 to 2 potential chances to do something tricky. Right? He can low forward drive rush, do button drive rush, raw drive rush. He has a lot of things he can do. Right? In Xiaohai's case, I should have also added here, right, just real quick, just to add to this. He does have reaction level 3. So you can react to any drive rush, which again, kind of boils back to a lot of these things that are being said here. Pretty much the first 2 are reactionary things. These things here are reactionary. So yeah, man, Xiaohai's in still a good position right now. So all the chips are still in Xiaohai's favor here. But based on the crouch walking, once again, jockeying for positioning, that allowed Kusanagi to get the punish here and get the dub. He takes this round.
That was good.
Yeah, shades of third strike.
Now, mind you, that's a win. If you can whip on a Xiaohai, that's great signs.
Nice neutral jump.
Yeah,
To the Tatsu.
trying to challenge in here. I'll just neutral jump.
Nice whiff punish on the crouch medium punch.
Spiral arrow, quick corner carry.
We are.
I'm keeping you honest there, Xiaohai. Oh, nice.
Good DP.
Neutral jump. That was impressive, Xiaohai.
Preemptive that
Like,
time with
these
the
guys are
neutral jump.
playing so well right now, and Xiaohai's reactions are so good.
Fling her down into the corner. Yeah, not trying to steal frames there.
Watch that. No, stop walking into that. I wonder if he's trying to walk us stand.
And there's the walk up again, getting punished, unfortunately, into level 3. To the CA. It's gonna hurt. Not gonna kill though, still has 1 chance. No DP. This made me, I'm not gonna lie, this made me sad. This made me really, really, really sad. Not gonna lie, you guys. This had to be probably the clearest OD Shoryuken he could have potentially done. Xiaohai, to be honest, did, arguably speaking, a bad jump. But because Kusanagi was walking back, probably wasn't thinking about it, you know, we ended up in this situation.
Oh, come on. That was in Lord have mercy. I painted that picture. I thought it was coming out. Wasn't ready. That was a random jump, and I ain't gonna lie. Unless, of course, Kusanagi was
Ryu's deep.
Alright, we're gonna move forward. Get started. Next game.
He's got a huge amount of horizontal range. Maybe he was just thrown off by the distance there.
Yeah, true.
And of course, I know a lot of you Ryu mains. If you guys are familiar with this, if you can throw fireballs with Ryu, you can also use light Hashogeki to bait a reaction and throw punish, because Hashogeki isn't an actual fireball. I mean, it works similar to a fireball, obviously, but it's not the fireball itself. So it's opts to get Ryu a throw punish counter, because, you know, they're trying to parry a regular fireball. So, but they get this and walk up. Nice driver's throw.
Ooh. Wake up OD dive kick, an absolute terror.
Yo, she controls, you know, if there's one thing I want to highlight from her, she really controls the rock, paper, scissors, man. Even on her wake up, you gotta guess. It's tough.
Yeah, and, you know,
nice
really
DP.
in the corner, because if she guesses right, then you're back in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, couldn't punish that, but he got the stand heavy punch there. Really good. Hashogeki pressure.
Specials only. Nice spacing on the dive kick. Jabs him out.
Good use of standing jab. Nice. Good closeout.
Kusanagi fighting back, trying to control Xiaohai. Find a different ranges as well now.
Nice with punish.
That was, wow. Start of the match, opening game at donkey kick. Interesting. It does have some active frames, so you can walk into that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what he needs to be wary of. He's walking into that crouch.
Okay, corner control. No drive gauge. Here we go. Nice.
Okay.
Again, I know we've been watching Xiaohai do it, but I gotta point it out for my mans here. Definitely try your best to get these crosscut DPs out. These are very, very, very important in this game, especially when your opponents are trying to escape the corner. Make them pay that corner tax, because jumping out the corner should not be free.
Sure you can.
Okay.
We were ready with the meaty throw.
Overextended.
Do it.
Finds himself out.
You know, it's a little
Oh,
Ooh.
defensive shimmy.
It's okay.
Level 3.
That drive gauge lead is pretty serious. I know.
No, the range.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, so in using DPs in the corner, since they have a lot more forward momentum now, it's harder to Dragon Punch while in the corner.
Take this lead.
The perfect jump angle. That Dragon Punch catching nothing but thin air.
Damn, it's slugging it right here. All trades.
Nice.
Kusanagi assuming that
you
that's
don't
going to
want to be
actually
trading
land.
with Ryu. It's nothing but heavies and specials. Big, big chunks. Nice.
Nice.
He's not going to get to shout it this time.
Boom. Sure you can. All right, cool.
Would have been crazy.
Here we go.
All right, what's next?
Favorable position.
Yoki.
Overhead.
Ooh, only the one
He
hit.
tried to sneak it in again.
I respect
Walks
that.
into the low forward. Side switch. Drive rush gets
Nice
checked,
with the
and
stand light
closes
kick.
it out. Kusanagi on
One
the
of
scoreboard.
Ryu's better pokes. Gotta learn how to use that button. That button's really strong.
It's okay, it comes with the territory. You want to be a champion, you're going to be a little stressed from time to
Oh,
time.
where do you think you're going? Low forward towards the corner.
Right, here we go. Back to the corner.
Delayed crouch strong.
The DP.
Get off of me.
That time the angle was right.
Oof.
Kusanagi catches the anti-air, but back into the corner already.
Decides to jump out.
Oh, no.
Xiaohai said no.
Takes him back, and now he's got
Ooh, right in between the strings.
Ooh, really nice confirm.
This kid, he's cool, man, and now he takes the lead.
Kusanagi, man. I'm telling you guys.
But at least he's getting that momentum.
even
Ryu.
in that ear.
Yeah, they hype.
Red headband.
Crouch strong again. Right,
Oh.
corner carry, crazy.
Xiaohai on the move.
So again, the crouch strong, no cancel from Xiaohai. Flicking out that low forward.
Oh, man. If he would have got that confirmed, but he got the overhead.
That was God. What a way to improvise, Kusanagi. I like that. I'm impressed. Great mix up.
Yeah, Xiaohai's like, nope, I'm not holding that pressure.
Out the corner again, so it's the side switch, and now again Kusanagi finds himself trying to get space out of the corner. Where are you going, Xiaohai?
That was sick.
Oh my
I
God.
do kind of want to point out how he got that,
So it's the
how he
side
landed this
switch,
hit.
and now again Kusanagi finds himself.
So there's the low forward drive rush, right? But peep how he gets it. There's a stand jab into the delayed walk, crouching, light kick, into the jab, drive rush, and we're back in there again. Now, if we watch it in real time, that's how fast it happens.
Side switch, and now again Kusanagi finds himself trying to get space
Nice.
out the corner.
Oh, I
Where are you
love
going,
that. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that.
Oh my God.
And the unfortunate part is it didn't kill.
No.
He didn't press the
I think he would have hit him anyway.
All right, you guys. I just talk about this because I did used to play this character in the beginning of this game. This is a huge, huge offensive thing about Cammy. In this situation in particular, right? Let's get here. All right, cool. This ends up being a guess for game, right? So there's a drive rush. There's the crouching light punch to keep the block string real. He tries to go for a throw. If he would have got the throw, then for sure. This right here, this throw right here. If this was to connect, this was game over, right? But the reality is it missed. And guess what? Our hero jumped back. And at this point, everything looks nice. Everything looks honky-dory. And then you remember, oh, that's right. Cammy has CA. So even though you jump back in this scenario, you're not safe from Cammy CA. Because, my friends, if you didn't know this, you're not familiar with the frame data of Cammy, Cammy's level 3 is a 9-frame startup super. Nine frame start. that means you cannot jump away from her in this scenario. If you neutral jump, you eat back medium punch. If you back jump, you eat CA. If you forward jump, oh man, here. Let me write these things out for you guys so you guys can see. Let me go back here. I'm gonna erase this. Right? Because I want you guys to see what her options are. I'm just gonna list them here as I've been doing recently. Right? So on the jump back, Cammy can level 3. Especially in this scenario in particular. If she has a level 3 on deck, this can happen. If you forward jump, that equals back medium punch. Say let's use N for neutral jump equals back medium punch or DP. Like, it's crazy. By the way, neutral jump, air throw. Like, it's crazy what this character gets from just whiffing a throw in this offensive scenario. It's really, really crazy. So, yeah, it's just not something you want to be like. I don't even want to tell you guys take the throw. I don't even want to tell you take the throw. I don't even want to tell you take the throw. I don't even want to tell you take the throw. It's just scary that Cammy just has this. I think if you backdash, you're pretty much okay. I think backdash is the one option that's actually okay. But any other ones that leave you kind of like high up like this, you know, there's other options as well, right? That are I didn't list here, but like, let's say you forward jump like for the cross up, you know, say cross up, that equals cross cut, right? She'll just cross cut DP you at that point, right? So we'll just put this right here so you guys can see. Yeah, so Cammy can just cross cut DP you here. So it's like, no matter what, this is essentially guess for game. That's really just what it boils down to, right? You're probably thinking, do I have any options? You do. If you were to tech the throw, that's kind of like one of the best case scenarios. But this is all right. If the Cammy player has reactions, then this is definitely gonna, any one of these options could happen. So if this is like someone on Punk's level, Xiaohai, this is the kind of thing that's gonna happen, to be honest with you guys. But it's all contingent of the Cammy player's reactions. Simple as that. So it's really unfortunate here for Kusanagi. But let's continue.
No, shot. He didn't press anything. No, shot. I think he would have hit him anyway too if he did it. That was like on point with the reactions. Is that enough? Oh!
And it's CA, so that super hurts, man.
That fast? Okay.
That super hella hurts.
No, Xiaohai, you kind of cracked out. The kid. Oh, what a way to set that up. He was ready. It's like he saved that for the last possible moment too. What a way to stay alive.
Oh, big punish here.
Big chunks of damage.
Damn, nice little chunk of damage indeed, Lo. Shoot. Oh. There we go. Those chunks like that.
Uh-oh. Bait on the DP. Nice reset. Bink, bink, bink. Oh, he missed it.
Oh, this is bad.
No.
Oh, this is a scary situation to be in. And he wins it anyway. All right. All right, you guys. This is it. He's in the lead now. It is a 2-1 scenario. Once again, red headband. #1 red headband.
I want to see all these beautiful faces. Look at that, enjoying some fighting games. Here we go, Kusanagi once again in that championship point situation.
Nice. Good check with the drive rush low. Smart stuff. Oh. Xiaohai retaliating with the counter poke, crouching and medium punch. Here we go. Oh my gosh. I'm scared. Alright, as you can see also, Xiaohai's kind of opted a little less for crouching medium kicks.
Widest time of fight is
Started walking in the spaces a little bit more and or using dive kicks. Ooh. I do want to point this out. This is, again, more masterclass RYU information, right? Check this out. Check this out, you guys. This was a really sick fireball. After the DP, look at where the fireball hit. That's insane. Hitting behind Cammy? That must mean our hero here knows proper spacing and etiquette and timing for that fireball to hit meaty like that and have extra plus frames, because what happens afterwards, the drive rush, crouching medium punch, guaranteed. Now, of course, he could have did another combo here, but guess what? Double check to see if Xiaohai was awake, and he wasn't. He died for not being awake because essentially Xiaohai could have supered here. But now, let me point out something here about this, right? So, given the situation, right? Given the situation with the DI, right? Things to note here, this is actually a favorable position for Kusanagi, right? Because essentially, if Xiaohai was to burn his meter, right? Let's say he was to burn a level 1, it wouldn't matter. And you want to know why? Well, if you look up right here, all my arrows are pointing to his life bar is okay. Kusanagi's life bar would have been okay. And then at that point, Kusanagi would have been in the meter lead right here. He had 2 meters. Xiaohai burning that 1 would have put Kusanagi in the meter lead, which is huge, especially in a set like this with these two. Smart stuff. It definitely is a 50-50. In most cases, you should just combo them, right? If you get something like that, all he had to do literally was just go for, like, I don't know, DP, Jodan kick or something along those lines. Something to just close the round out, you know, OD Tatsu, anything to close the round out. But instead he opted for this, which means, and what it looks like to me is just kind of looking to see if maybe Xiaohai was, you know, awake at the wheel. Maybe he might shoot like a level 3, shoot a level 1, maybe a level 2. Any one of the supers could have come out from Xiaohai, but it did not. So, but yeah, you know, it's never a bad idea to test the opponent to see if you can kind of get away with something, and also not only to get away with it, but also kind of force situations, right? You're taking damage to essentially, you're investing any extra HP that you incur as a loss in this round to be advantageous for you later on in the later rounds, because the opponent doesn't have the meter to be able to punish you, to do anything super substantial or make it hurt. The drive gauge will make it hurt naturally, right? But then if they're forced to use a level 1, or if they have a level 2, or just no super meter at all, it's a winning scenario for you, because now they can't, yeah, it'll hurt, but it won't kill, essentially. So good on Kusanagi.
It's crazy. Set point now for Kusanagi. 2,500 people's eyes.
Nice confirm.
Hands clasped together in prayer.
Uh-oh.
Every hit, every throw.
Oh, no.
3 in a row. 4. Don't do it now. 5. One more will do it. Oh.
He finally got out of there. And then loses to ODDP. Let's go. Big Kusanagi. Let's go.
Who secures the single ticket to CAPCOM.
He did his thing.
An incredible comeback from Xiao.
He did his thing. He did his thing. He did his thing. He did his thing. He earned it. He earned it. He earned it. He earned it. So there's quite a few things we've discerned here, right? The things that were very key to Kusanagi's success. Kusanagi used a lot of micro shimmies to test Xiaohai and see if he would actually try to throw any of his shimmy attempts, right? That's one. Then 2, his crouch walking was very good, right? Protecting his feet in the spaces he needed to protect his feet. He also held his ground in a lot of areas. He also didn't jump while being cornered and pressured by Xiaohai too much while he was in the corner, because that's free damage for Cammy, right? Now, there were some questionable moments in regards to meter usage, because one of my criticisms for Kusanagi's play was I felt like the biggest de facto of the entire set was his usage of his super arts. I think him holding on to his super art 3 in particular was a very huge like factor in my eyes looking at it again. And to be honest, his meter usage wasn't necessarily bad, to be honest with you. That's not really the case. It's just I think having a CA or a super art 3 available to kind of close out or put yourself in an advantageous situation with the damage output that RYU does have, I think that would have been a bit more valuable. But it's understandable. You're on the grand final stage, you know what I mean? You're playing against a player of caliber like Xiaohai, with RYU no less. You know, I'd imagine like the pressure on him was probably immense, but he came out on top. He did his thing. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, RYU's looking pretty damn good in season 2, man. I've been kind of preaching this for a little while now, that I think RYU this season is pretty strong, and quite frankly, this season of Street Fighter 6 is pretty damn balanced, to be honest with you. There are obviously some characters who could use a little bit more love, maybe, you know, a nice coach pat on the butt for a nice, you know what I mean, buff or something along those lines. But where we are right now, a lot of characters are winning in the game right now. RYU winning just kind of, I don't know, it's pretty interesting, because to my, if I recall right, Akuma hasn't really won anything big, and he's been out for a little while now. And he's, in some ways, some would argue he's stronger than RYU. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. I think both those characters do amazing things in the game. Obviously, Akuma has a lot more options than RYU, but I don't know, it's kind of interesting just seeing that RYU's won. So, hey man, this is a dub for all you RYU players. I know this was kind of a long one, but I wanted to give as much high-level insight as I can. It's been a while since I've done an analysis video, so I'm really excited to actually do this, because even though I don't play RYU myself, I actually enjoy watching him win through fundamental gameplay, and just honestly, he's just kind of a cool character anyway. So, you know, big ups to Kusanagi for doing his thing. Big ups to all the players that were out there at UFA in Paris, France. Big ups to the commentators doing their thing here. It was really great listening to these guys. But yes, beautiful stuff. So if you guys stuck with me here to the end, I definitely appreciate it. I'll probably be doing more analysis like this, very high level, in-depth analysis, try to bring you guys as much in-depth things as possible, because I want you guys to know that as I'm doing these videos, these analysis videos, I would love it if you guys like learned more about the game, learn more about the decision making. I understand not everyone intends to be a tournament player, but I want you guys to understand the decision making and what makes fighting games great at this level of play. So once again, if you stuck with me till the end, thank you so much. Hopefully you learned something. Talk to me how you feel about RYU in season 2. Did you enjoy the grand finals? Did you enjoy the analysis? And if you like more content and want more content like this, naturally, just let me know in the comments below. You're talking too much, guy, let me know. Whatever it is, whatever your criticism is, let me know. I'm here for it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace and love, everybody. Deuces, gooses.